Hey guys, I just want to show you my custom homemade knife. I made it about a year ago. I have another video of it up on my channel and it looks a little bit different. It was originally black coated with a gun coating. Then I didn't like the way the edge was ground, so I reground the edge, and this whole edge here was showing through black coating, and it looked okay, but after a while I just got sick of the coating, so I sanded it off and then tried to polish the blade up a little bit with my Dremel, but you could still see all like the scratches in it from the sandpaper and the grinding. So it looks a little bit rough, but it is my hard use knife, and I do want people to recognize that I made it myself, because if it was too polished, you might not believe me. But it was my first attempt at a homemade knife, so I think it came out pretty good. I used G10 on the handle scales there. Cut them out, sanded them down. Those are pretty rough too, as you can see. I used chainring bolts to hold the scales on. I used the Q-tip and vinegar attached to a battery charger to acid etch in my first initial and my last name there. It's a little bit of a logo. See, the other side is flat blade. So I did a chisel grind on it, mainly because, like I said, it was my first homemade knife, and I wanted it to come out good and usable. And so since I didn't have a 4-inch wide grinder like most knife makers had, I had a 1-inch belt for my belt sander. I made a little jig out of a G10 so it would hold the knife like this up against the grinder so I could get a good edge. It came out pretty decent, like I said. I went with a Tonto. I like the way Tontos look and perform. The big drop point there so I can work in close against things and not stab them. Also, I used a pretty thick stock. It's 3/16, so about 0.18 inches thick. I got the stock from USA Knife Maker. As you can see, it keeps that thickness all the way to the tip of the blade, so it can be used to pry if need be. So it's quite strong. No jimping. I'm not a big fan of jimping. As long as I can lock my hand into the knife, I'm happy. I got pretty small hands, so it's quite thin as well. But hand fits well for me. For some people, it might be a little bit small handle, but like I said, I made it for myself, so it fits well. Most of my inspiration came from the Benchmade Nimravus. You could see a lot of it in the handle. The blade was slightly inspired by the Nimravus and also by a knife by, I believe, Alex Pacheco or something. I can't pronounce it. It was on Arizona Custom Knife, that website. In the end, it kind of is a little bit reminiscent of Greg Medford. I believe it's Emperor. So, like I said, it came out pretty good, I think. I don't know, let me know what you think for a first try at a knife. I'm going to make a second one pretty soon. And I made a Kydex sheath for it. I gotta make another one. This one doesn't really work out too well. But, I can put my belt through this loop here, and it sits against my belt. But the blade doesn't really lock into it, kind of just grabs onto it. So, gotta make another one. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Comments below. Have a good one.